within Africa, what I see personally is a collaborative space where we can create value across multiple different sectors and across multiple different countries. And what does that require? It requires each individual to play their part. And more so than that is also for us to be able to collaborate to make sure that we are maximizing the value that exists amongst us.
A lot of people founders here and a lot of developers here can attest that sometimes we build MVPs for even 4 months and 6 months, only to put it in the market and realize it's not going to work. People don't like it, it can't do anything. And then you have to build again for 6 months. Before you know it, that's 1 year.
The best gift you can give to a human being is a chance.
Yeah, exactly. A child that does not cry will die in the carrier.
There are too many problems in the world for us not to be the solutions to them. There are too many of us pointing fingers, looking for other people to solve for things that we know innately we have a piece of the puzzle for.
Think about the failures you've had in your life. Don't you learn more from failure than you do from success? I have.
Absolutely. That's where the biggest lessons are.
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful. It's another day joining you live from Mombasa, the coastal region of Kenya. And I just want to welcome you to this live recording, live podcast with my co-host you'll be seeing shortly. And this is Impact Masters podcast where we dissect the status quo, ensuring that we're bringing you stories as well as the recordings which changes the mold, and providing some expertise in developer experience, developer relations, entertainment, design, marketing, as well as tech ecosystem and scalable systems. Without further ado, I just want to welcome you here, and feel free to interact with us in the comment. We'll respond to any feedback or any comments that we see, and you're welcome. So without further ado, I just want to welcome my co-hosts, Graham Mwanga himself. He can introduce himself. Hi, Graham.
Hi, how are you? So my name is Graham.
Yep.
From Africa Stocking. I work in the marketing and partnerships team. Africa Stocking, if you are hearing about it for the first time, we provide a telco platform as a service, as well as a communication platform as a service, integrating at least 80 telcos in Africa, with a presence in 23 markets, and providing businesses, developers, startups with one interface to interact with telco resources. Since we are an API business, we may as well add to that over time. So you can look out for other API resources that are in addition to telco services. We've done payments in some countries. Cloud is coming. Aggregated cloud, which means you can integrate with whichever provider you love, and many more. Yeah, so great to be in the great city of Mombasa.
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, today we have a really interesting podcast for you, and going forward, we're going to be bringing some interesting discussion. And we're going to discuss about the big score by Mark Malone, or Graham?
Malone. Depends on where you come from.
Yes. But it's a very interesting book talking about the Silicon Valley from the early days to the current state.
Yes.
And we'll be talking about how it has impacted Silicon Valley, the lessons that could be learned there, the technique, the tech ecosystem, the Silicon Savannah, as well as Mombasa tech ecosystem. So Kenya has a really interesting tech ecosystem coming up. There's Nairobi, of course, which is leading. And then we have Mombasa, and then we have Kisumu. And of course, I hear other places like Eldoret are coming up. There's Nakuru, Kisii,
yes.
And so on. And it's a good thing to see.
Nyeri has always been there somewhere.
Yeah, Dikut. You can't mention tech without mentioning Dikut. Dikut is the Dedan Kimathi University of Technology.
Yeah.
Where the semiconductors will be created. And it's interesting to see even recently there was a rare mineral discovery in Mrima.
That's in Kilifi.
Yeah, and there's cobalt discovery in Embu.
Yes.
So Kenya is becoming a leader in so many aspects, and even Africa at large. And it's good to discuss some of these lessons from the book.
Yes.
One of the key things that I'm keen on, is the clarification from the big score.
Okay.
Is that Silicon Valley didn't begin its life as a polished innovation
Okay.
district. It started as an aggregation of engineers confronting unresolved scientific problems. The semiconductors, microelectronics, and defense-driven research. And the interesting aspect, Graham, that people don't know is that most of the biggest customers of the big tech
Yes.
are always the government.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah, definitely.
Always.
Even the big cloud providers.
They are the guys with the luxury of adopting new tech and testing it, ensuring that it works.
Taking their time.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot to learn there, even from the Africa perspective, Kenya
Yes.
perspective, whereby governments could actually start checking out tech ecosystem. And yesterday was the day before yesterday, we went to this innovation space and we found some guys who will be participating in NIS hackathon.
Yes.
Which took me aback a bit, like, oh wow, okay, interesting.
Yes.
Will this just end up in a job placement and that's it, or will there be some adoption of the innovation? So government is big.
Yeah.
What do you think that we could do as a continent to really front this? Is it policy? Is it laws? Is it just pitching to the government more?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
The first problem that you realize is when you look at the big tech and the amount of business they are doing with government, you realize that we already began in the wrong footing. Because if you are, for example, a cloud provider, and I don't know, a sizable chunk of your money is being generated by a government contract, a defense contract.
Yeah.
And then, you provide maybe some of your services on a free to use basis. And then, I have a startup in Africa that takes that model and starts to provide a software on a free-to-use basis. Already, they are going to fail. You see the problem here? They are going to fail because the providers giving you free-to-use basis software, they already got their money covered.
So you think it's a premium model,
works.
but already there's someone paying the check.
Of course, it does not work like that.
Yeah.
So it explains why so many startups never take off.
Yeah.
They begin with that. You'd rather say, I have 100 customers. If you don't want my business, go away.
Yeah.
But to get to that point, you have to have first looked at what actually happened in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Which is, you build a product, you even go and have a negotiated contract with the government, you even pay for lobbyists to make sure that your business is incorporated in government processes.
Yeah.
And then you have free cash flow, or you have a $400 million grant,
Yes.
which you now use to implement your business within government.
Yes.
You can now turn around and say, any early subscribers, because you're inadvertently your big business is B2B, but everyone is seeing you are a B2C.
Yes.
So they are thinking, if I start my startup and copy X or Y or Z, I will have the money just like these guys.
Yes.
Only to realize that maybe some of these businesses have never even made a profit in Africa.
It's basically...
They only make a profit in Europe and the US. Why? Because of government contracts. But they won't tell you that.
You'll just be seeing things happen.
See things happen.
This is a model they use.
Which starts to explain even their route to market. I ever tried to wonder why these guys not interested in executing this or executing that. They know, because even if they execute it, the winning strategy is to keep going to the government, because this will never make them the money even to be sustainable. You see?
Yes.
Now, if you remove that reality from the startup ecosystem in Africa, it explains so much why So businesses never scale, businesses never grow, businesses die overnight because of radical changes in policy. You see? So that's the first deception.
That other ecosystems copy from Silicon Valley.
Copy paste.
Yeah.
Even China.
The
does
biggest
not
consumer
work
is the
that way. You'll be told you're running a platform. This platform must be hosted in China, must do this and this, must comply with this, must comply with this. But here's $50 million.
Yes.
See? Suddenly.
Yes.
And if you look at the pipeline, the same thing. All the people who went to study in China, in the US, in tech, I struggle today to think of any remaining in the US. Especially now with the big... In fact, I think there are policies being set up so that they don't leave.
Yes.
They have incentives to stay. But the incentives are bigger
Back home. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think just to bring it... That's my first point, I think, around this ecosystem.
Yeah.
We need to recalibrate our eyes. What are you seeing? And what business are you building? And should you even be thinking of freemium? Another thing in Africa, should you even be selling a software service alone? Or should you add some commodities or some extra services layer on top?
Yeah.
Because you could be selling something to people who need education.
Yes.
So they won't just put their credit card and use your software platform. They need education. They need cash. They need to give you cash. Suddenly, you can't just run a purely software business. You may have to have software plus services.
Exactly.
Software plus training.
Yes.
And nothing stops you from making money from the training.
Yes.
Yeah. So Africa's value chains, I think, have been skewed because you just thought it always just works like that in the US.
Yeah. Exactly. And this is a structural pattern that we can even establish from this conversation. And that is ecosystem grow around problem density, not just branding. And before the valley became the valley, ambition was attracted to complexity, not amenities. And one of the key institutions that really has played a big part is Stanford's role. It was not just symbolic, it created technical legitimacy and continuity, creating some pipeline. Because if you think about most of the serious innovation that are used world over, they have the root of, expertise from Stanford.
Okay.
And remember, these are private university institution, rather. Of course, there's a Berkeley, there's a University of California, and many more. But Stanford stands out for so many innovators. Do you think we are really investing in our institutions to make sure that the pipeline is there? And I'm going to share a bit about myself. And where I've interacted with these institutions. There is the University of Nairobi, there is Kenyatta University, there is JKUAT, there is DEKUT. And some of the professors there are well educated. Most of the well educated in the world, I would say that. From MIT, from Yale, from Princeton, Oxford, Cambridge, and so on and so forth. But as recent as this year, lecturers had to stay at home for a few months. 3 months, or I don't know, more than that, just because they were not well compensated. Whereas if you compare that with Stanford, where lecturers are co-founders, they are the directors, they are board of, their research is consumed.
Yes.
Whereas the student actually get real-time internship and apprenticeship in these companies. By the time they graduate, they have a footing in the industry and they know what is required of them.
Yeah.
As opposed to just graduates who just celebrate their graduation and then they start tamarking looking for a job.
Yes.
Which is not sustainable. So I think there's something that can be looked at and can be learned to build sustainable ecosystem.
A lot. So first, I think you have to go. When we did the engineering classes, you used to be told derive from first principles. Maybe even in the computer science and engineering, you remember these things.
Yes.
For you to achieve an answer, you must derive from first principles.
Yes.
So the problem, I think, I can look at it from two sides. One, the funding of research and education institutions as part B. Part A is the purpose of those institutions.
Yes.
So some research needs to be done there, but earlier in the beginning of education, maybe in the late 18th century, 19th century, the Victorian era. It's called the Victorian era, actually.
Yes.
The Victorian era was an era of great British industry, where they invented a couple of things. I don't remember very well, but they invented quite a lot of things. The steam engine. Then they began to see a problem.
Yeah.
The problem was, who will do this work? So they created a way out called the education meal. Think of education like a factory process.
Yes.
You bring in the students, you prepare them for a specific job,
Yes.
which in those days was obvious. They are going to be in the factory floor,
Yes.
and then you churn them out into the factory floor.
Yes.
That model has never changed because we never derive our solutions from first principles. From first principles, you first need to say,
Yes.
are we in the industrial revolution? No. Are we in the agrarian revolution? No. So why are we using the same process
Yes.
to generate educated
People. Yeah.
or human capital?
Yeah.
That's the first problem.
Yes.
First problem is the way we generate human capital today through education was fit for purpose for the industrial revolution. And no governments in Africa are agile enough to change.
The systems.
Because you have to change, okay, where are we? First industrial revolution, whatever. Now I think now we're in the fourth.
Yeah.
Or even we are moving into AI.
Yeah.
Even that is too fast.
Yes.
Kenya, of course, has said they're going to do CBC,
Yeah.
trying to change. They're trying to answer this thing from
Yes.
hopefully base principles.
Which is more reactive than intentional. Yeah.
So the first step
Yeah.
is, what was this human capital for? And the process that generates that human capital, has it been evolved?
Yeah.
That's where the first problem begins.
Yeah.
Because now from there you come to the second problem, which is there is money to find the capital, human capital, so that it's an investment by the industrial complex.
Yes.
Now you see in Victorian age, the money was there because the industrial complex was working. The money would be brought back to find more workers.
Yes.
But now in Africa, if you're importing everything, it means the center of production is elsewhere.
Yes.
There's no money to bring back to
The production,
generate
yeah.
the need of human capital to serve what? You start to see people saying,
Yes.
we are importing labor to the developed countries.
Yeah.
You see, they are following the actual capital
Yeah.
elsewhere. Others are saying we are exporting education, people to go and get educated so that they can work where the money is coming from. But that's really the big thing. Now, if you are in education, if you are in universities, institutions, you can already see that's broken. So you need to say, how integrated are you in the businesses that are running in the economy today?
Yeah.
That's the second part of the second problem.
Yes.
If you're going to come and say, I need to educate people to be absorbed by Africa's talking, have you consulted Africa's talking to see
The needs.
the needs?
Yeah.
In fact, are you so compelling that Africa's talking is willing,
To even put money up front.
yes,
Yeah.
for you to do their research,
Yeah.
for you to do their... So, if this process is not examined,
Yeah.
not only is there not enough money being put in the institutions to build the startups of the future, there is no industry linkage or distribution. Because the problem of startups is distribution.
Yes.
There is no distribution channel that is willing to fund
The pipeline.
the pipeline.
Yeah. And which underscores a simple idea. Ecosystems begin where capability congregates.
Good.
And remember, Africa is this ecosystem that you can't ignore anymore.
Yes.
Given that over 80% now are the most productive in the world.
Yes.
It begs the question to ask ourselves, now that we're in the knowledge society ecosystems, where you cannot even just market goods or services and assume people just consume them because they have seen it, they have marketed it enough. They need also to actually find that solution to be solving their day-to-day problem.
Yes.
And we have seen this with social media, the network algorithm,
Yes.
amongst many others. Are we ready to really enable this capacity for the world? Because either way, if this is the youngest generation to live in the next 10, 15 years, or even right now, actually, then we ought to actually ask ourselves, when these people grow old or die or whatever, who will actually now take the mantle and produce for the needs of the world? And another thing, as you think through this, that we have seen underfunding or defunding of the institution that provide some of these skills.
Yeah.
Where does that leave us?
First of all, the institutions of education will be defunded because the pipeline is broken. And I think that's one of the themes I noticed with the big score.
Big score, yeah.
The idea of family, family culture. Let's just give this one something because they are.
Stanford is a result of less my funding that I gotten from creating the railroad.
Yes.
Build an institution that will outlive me.
Benevolence.
Yeah.
But you see, benevolence breaks when there is no more money being made. So it's why you see this guy, Mike, saying, after family, they now became treacherous. They started to fire, layoffs.
Yeah.
So these are very interesting theme. The theme is this. Resources are not infinite.
Yes.
So, because resources are not infinite, when we were younger or when we were thinking about jobs and education, maybe 20 years ago, we always felt maybe we'll be absorbed somewhere. Otherwise, if we had the thinking today, we would not even have done the courses we did.
Yes.
But the reason why we were that naive was because we always believed abundance and unlimited resources. But when you start to document the economy, you realize your economy is 6 trillion.
Yes.
Then there is total addressable market.
Yes.
You can only sell to this much.
Yes.
But you have to have unique value proposition to the personas in the market.
Yes.
That is of any market, including the labor market, including even the government can be seen as orchestrating a market. And there's only so much you can take out of that market unless you expand it. So that's why it's like something like Africa Continental Free Trade Area. If you want to be $1 billion business, forget about being $1 billion business in Kenya.
You have to think scale.
It will not work.
And the need.
Yes. It will not work because who are you selling to? Unless it's a government. But you're competing with the same government with European, Chinese, American companies.
Yes.
So this is very important. When you're talking about going to be a unicorn in Africa, we have gone beyond the idea of infinite benevolence. We need to put the numbers together. Now, when you look at the government, that's a struggle they must face. You know, you can't just pump money and hope.
Yes.
That is what we used to do when we were kids.
Yes.
Today, you must realize how much is coming in, how much is going out, what is the capacity of purchase of my people, etc.
Yes.
Now, when you look at the university, university must also have a target audience. It is shipping research and talent too.
Yes.
If it's only shipping talent to Kakamega County, when will it be $1 billion business? Kakamega County is only receiving maybe 15 billion shillings.
Yeah, max.
Max.
And most of it is debt.
So a lot of these campuses or African universities are, one state university. But you want to play the league of Harvard. Harvard, which is advising
52 states or 54, the world.
The world.
Yeah.
Yes, there is some research coming out of Harvard for China, for Middle East, and therefore they can be $1 billion research outfit.
Yes.
So the companies of Africa will continue to defund these organizations, and the students will continue to leave the process of education if there is no quantifiable total addressable market, quantifiable direction for talent.
Yes.
And also, final point, when you see China growing, or the US,
yes,
there is no growth of tech ecosystem without government intervention. So the idea that you can give $1 million to the tech ecosystem in Africa, you are joking. Yes, you are joking. You need to look at the government as a platform where startups and businesses can plug in. And now the government needs to start thinking, how does that platform grow value? Suddenly, you realize that you have no wastage available.
At all.
You can do an audit and see if it is agriculture. Every vertical must be created and addressed for us to achieve the money we want.
Yes.
If you're looking at sports, if you're looking at business, anything that the government has its tax hands in, it must also start to nurture by being a platform. So I think the main story here is that Africa is very, very fast going to come out of benevolence and start creating value, just like the Silicon Valley shift. Which means people will now start thinking, if this guy is not creating value, am I going to keep him? Am I going to fire them? It's a very tough conversation. It can only be softened if we start to think about our entire value chain from end to end. And then when you strengthen that value chain, it means when a university will plug in, the university need to think beyond. You know, I usually see the Kenyan lecturers fighting, and I'm like, brothers, sisters, you are fighting for in Kenya. Why don't you try and create bigger, pool of work across Africa, 55 countries? That's where the $1 billion is coming from.
And I think let's talk a bit about critical mass and talent mobility and the Fairchild lineage. Most people don't know about how Silicon Valley was really built from the grit. So Fairchild Semiconductor remains one of the most consequential institutions in tech history. The traitorous 8 live shockingly, form Fairchild, built new norms, and ultimately generate the Fair Children. And Fair Children here is Intel, AMD, National Semiconductor, and many more. So I think even given the Kenyan example, before you used to talk about Safaricom, 7 Seas, Africa's talking a bit, Wananchi Group, then there was that wave of Microsoft ADC. And it doesn't mean that these companies were not there. It's just that they were there business-wise, like business development kind of presence. But there were a couple of years there that, Microsoft came about. Andela came about, stopped a few engineers. Then Microsoft, there was GitLab, now there's Google Engineering, and so on and so forth. And also we have seen some really interesting company came about. Cellulant. We have seen a couple of people raise money. There was Soko, as much as they closed. But are we intentional about how people migrate their talent and grow? Do people leave companies and go and start companies that actually, disrupt? And how can we encourage this even from the company perspective so that we have continuity and talent mobility that is safe, that is healthy, and that actually grows the ecosystem?
This is I don't know if people are ready for this conversation. First, I can say a lot of African founders are jealous. They are fighting for jealous
for
or
crabs.
Or small ego, even when you eat food, right? You need to get that food out of your system. Otherwise, you'll die. So, I think number one, the tech ecosystem in Africa must heal from constipation caused by jealousy. I think the only country I have seen very successfully executing this is Nigeria. That's why in Nigeria you can have the Flutterwave mafia, you can have the Paystack mafia, you can have the Andela mafia. You see? It's already writing itself. Like there are several founders who have come together, built value, seen some of their engineers, business people grow in their companies, and then proactively given them wings to fly, which is the theme you're talking about for the treacherous 8. So you will notice that if the Fairchild did not proactively spawn Intel, AMD, giving them the ropes, giving them the contacts. Business is not just about... There's a concept that you need 10,000 days to build your first business. But after that, not more. Because at 10,000 days, or the 3 years, 10 years, I don't know how long, 3 to 10 years anyway, depends. Is you working with 10,000 hours, 10,000 hours, 3 years.
10,000 hours.
Yeah. It's you working with, working through the process, which is you're discovering everything, learning everything, failing. Nobody should be lied to that the 10,000 hours last forever. No, it's just a phase. After it, if you've been working in the banking sector, after 3 years, who don't you know? What product and problem don't you know?
Yes.
So, after 3 years, if you have been working in a certain company, for you to move to another company or to build your own company, you have the contacts.
Yes.
So you just need enablement and a good, experience or a good open ecosystem for guys to be like, Chief, go do your thing. Someone should even tell you, I'll be the first one to put money in your Series A.
Yeah, because you know each other, you know the capability.
Yes,
I understand also in Silicon Valley is a very interesting ecosystem whereby anything you need, people know who can do it. And
look at how Elon bought X. It's not all his money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How OpenAI was set up.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. All right, here is 100 million. Here is 10 million. Because first, they are not debating, are you capable? They are not debating, do you have ethics? They are not debating, do you have a process? They know you have a process. They know you are capable. They know there's a market. So they are taking away the teething problems so that you start delivering value tomorrow.
Yes.
So to achieve that in Africa, 1, we must get rid of jealousy. 2, we must look at everything as a process with an end game.
Yes.
Which means even when someone is hiring for their startup, they should already be calculating how these guys will grow, how they will exit, So some startups in Africa should already have created 10 more startups. So even if you're not going to do $1 billion yourself,
yes,
you can have 10 startups that are doing $10 million in different sectors.
Yeah.
Money is money. You still have your 100 million at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So for us to achieve, Africa we must stop being jealous. We must move away from the choking each other. And we must live life, begin with the end in mind. The end in mind is every developer wants to be a CTO. Yeah. Every CTO wants to run a startup. Every startup wants to enter Series A
and create jobs
and get an IPO.
Yeah.
That is why are we doing this if not for that? If you're not conscious that every dev wants to be a CTO, every CTO wants a startup, every startup wants to exit as IPO stage, you will have constipation.
For sure. The most valuable output of a great company is the next generation of founders.
Yes.
In emerging ecosystem, you can't actually afford, and this is from Michael's The Big Score book. The first successful companies act as capability accelerators.
Nice.
Their alumni networks become the backbone of the ecosystem. If mobility is restricted, the ecosystem slows. If mobility is encouraged, as Graham is putting it, it compounds because definitely you're creating more customer even for your business.
Yes.
That they trust, that they have worked for, they have built before they started their own company.
Yes.
And let's talk about capital as a follower, not a catalyst, because also there's this conundrum of you have a startup, you want to raise. After you raise, you're in the news. After in the news, we forget you, or you collapse.
Yes.
And it has become so common in the upcoming ecosystems.
Yes.
So many assume venture capital shaped Silicon Valley from day one, but the Big Score documents the opposite.
Yes.
Venture capital matured only after the Valley demonstrated repeatable innovation.
Interesting.
Remember, Silicon Valley already had money from gold rush, right?
Yeah.
And from the silicon mining, all right? So the money was there, but it didn't really...
They didn't just start dishing it out.
It wasn't the lead of innovation because they have money. And we know there are places where the money is, even today.
Even in Africa.
Yeah, Switzerland, there's money there. And the GDP is crazy. And there's this France part, the most richest part.
Monaco.
But doesn't mean they're the most
Southwest France.
Yeah. So this is actually evident. This matters because regions often attempt to lead with capital rather than technical depth. Silicon Valley worked because capable founders and problem-rich environments came first. Capital simply amplified what was already happening.
Yes.
So capital is an accelerant and not a starting ingredient. And you could see like the industrial tycoons.
Yeah.
People started Stanford. They realized that building rail is a big deal. Civil engineering at that time was a big deal because that was the innovation, right?
Yes.
People are building roads, building the first of the many.
Yes.
But they realized, you might want to establish an institution which actually carries out research, predicts the future and builds the new innovators, and hence Stanford. If you look at MIT, the same thing, right? Harvard, the same thing. They are just these people who maybe were oil tycoon or whatever tycoon, and they decided, let's put this money in a trust that starts this institution, and you can see the evidence of that. But now in Africa, you can only speak so much about that, especially for institutions. And the reason why institutions are very, very interesting study. And this is not going to stop because we're in the knowledge economy. I hear people saying university versus self-taught. You forget even the self-taught is generated from the same university you're escaping.
Yeah, the principles of education and and what you learn is the same. If you're learning a server, it's a server.
Yeah. So people call it YouTube University, the Indian University online, right? But remember, this education evolves.
Yes.
This education is created, and is as a result of people asking paramount question about where are we in, where are we going, and what's going to happen.
Yes.
And there are so many problems to solve in Africa. It's just that a matter of fact is that technology plays a part in that. But even today, if you look at water problem alone.
Yes.
Is a big problem. Yesterday we were talking about the addressing system problem. If you look at the road network and the underlying technology like traffic lights, management of traffic and all that. And you mentioned something about data, right?
Yes.
We should be led by data to make decisions. We should be led by data to know that this is what is required and for how much. So my big question in that is that are we really doing the right thing? Are we trying things out? Are we reactive because of other distraction in our focus?
Yes.
Because different presidents come with a lot of promises. We have ministers around different things, and I like what Bosun is doing in Nigeria. I don't know if you're following him, but one of the key things that he has done really well is high and machine learning, capacity building, the strategy for the country. And the beauty of that is that even if he doesn't implement everything, someone will find a template the way Kibaki left Vision 2030, right?
Yes.
And it's easier to really look at it.
The next steps are easier for the next guy.
Yeah. The other segment I think that is covered well in the big score is the culture as operating system.
Yes.
And I know you have a lot to say about culture.
Absolutely.
Right? The invisible infrastructure, as he puts it.
Yes.
And what the book actually captures particularly well is the Valley cultural architecture.
Yes.
It wasn't formal, it wasn't ordered, but it was powerful. Today, if you land at the Bay Area or San Jose or San Bruno or Santa Clara and so on and so forth, there's always this urgency to build. There's this urgency to really implement. There's this urgency to solve. And there's easiness of people joining you whenever you have a solution. Whenever you really have a roadmap, and people can rally around that and help you. Of course, there's a essence of let's make money, bro. You know, like let's make millions and billions. But definitely, that's just the incentive. But people are ready to build. If you see someone has gone to Stanford, definitely, one route is become an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Because the ecosystem and the culture itself allows.
Or encourages.
Yes. So I don't know, even looking at our, innovation centers, innovation cities.
Yes.
Is there much of that, or just people are costing and raising funds and, getting funded and all that?
There's a lot. I don't know if there's so much there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Number one, I think let me call it the African reality, which you see from when you go to your fundamental school, you learn subconsciously, is that you are always looking out. And this is a big problem. Our basis of education was always study, go abroad, produce, export.
No, even a
you have an
validation.
issue, called a XYZ institution. You killed each other, go to an international court. So that culture has been a big problem because it has, in my view, created this culture that someone else is coming to help us.
But the fact,
or I am built to go elsewhere.
I'm preparing to leave.
Yes, that's a very, very bad problem that we have.
Yes.
So some people may argue, and even I think it's part of the book, that the bad management made some people leave to go and create their better things. You could argue like that, but guys, where you are going, they are chasing you. Isn't it? They're like,
it's a reality now.
No more. No, don't come here.
The Republicans don't want you there.
Yes, no one wants you. So, number one, the culture, we are already behind on that. But let's talk about what we can do today. So what we can do today, I think, there's a lot. First of all, the organizations that are profitable today, they need to start preparing for the future by creating a culture where they'd rather look at it from... Let me give you a good example. Dangote.
Yes.
He created the world's largest single train refinery.
Not recently.
Yeah, 2024, 2025. As a chemical engineer, when you look at a petrochemical company, the amount of value you can generate is ridiculous.
Yes.
From pharmaceuticals to plastics to... petrochemical is everywhere. So, my first realization when I looked at this story was I realized that the engineers in the plant have not been empowered to think they can generate the downstream industries. They're just there to pump oil, refine it, sell it.
Yeah.
But you should be able to say there's so many petrochemical products. I am in this industry. I can take one line, and Dangote should be able to invest in that line. Say I'm going to be the biggest producer of a certain pharmaceutical product or raw material that comes from petrochemical. I'm going to focus on that. It's going to be part of Dangote, but it's, instead of ignoring all these other verticals and just focusing on refining and selling oil, that's the reality these guys are facing. But the culture may prevent them from seeing it like that. Look at the blue chips of Africa, which are the telcos. They have so many resources and money. That should be the same thing. How many tech companies can they start within themselves that end up being the billion-dollar businesses of the next 5 years? So that culture, if corrected, it means you already have all the jobs you need. All these guys will hire 5, 10, 20, 100 people. We're already going to be starting absorbing. And if you think about it from every vertical. Another thing about education, which is quite interesting. The world today, if you study, for example, the marketing vertical, you'll notice that people go to school to understand how to sell Facebook. Or to sell on Facebook. So there's already a new curriculum and education called Facebook. So Facebook has grown so big, it has generated its own education. Which is basically what we started talking about when we were talking about the Industrial Revolution. So now basically Facebook can give a curriculum which if you pass or if you understand, you start making $500 a week. So in other words, the Industrial Revolution has morphed into 200,000 companies that can generate local knowledge, train local people, and create local economy. So, but to get there, we have to change the culture. If you study, there's one time we were joking and saying Google employs the whole world. Why? Because of Google ads. Without ads, you can't sell. Without selling, you have no money. With no money, you have no company. So by Google being existent with their Google ads, everybody is employed. Even the government has to use Google ads to get its word out that it needs your tax. You see? So that's another economy. You go and study Google marketing, playbook, you become a guru. You start making thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
You didn't need to go to study engineering. You just needed to study the Google ecosystem. Same to Facebook, OpenAI, Meta, Microsoft, AWS, Oracle, so many people. So how does that translate to African companies? African companies must start to create that culture where they're creating unique information, unique businesses, and they can be an umbrella of businesses from their own ecosystem. So that's, I think, how we could crack.
Yes.
But we have to change the culture.
Yes.
And people need to realize I'm not just selling a product. I could ideally be creating an ecosystem of new value.
Yes, yes, yes.
You see?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And in these lessons, actually, there are a couple of things that people can take away from, the book, the Big Score by Michael. One of them is fluid movement of talent, transparent sharing of lessons, which I think also we don't do really well. Tolerance of failure, and we should talk about that, like falling forward, paying forward, but failing also forward.
Yes.
Respect for speed, limited hierarchy, which actually explores all the innovation there is to explore. So these don't produce velocity, and in many developing ecosystems, the visible artifacts are built. Co-working spaces, accelerators, pitch events, without bending the underlying cultural mechanism. And I normally tell you this every time, reminding you how bad we are doing as an ecosystem. If you go to the Valley every day, there are different portfolio of events and engagements where you can plug in depending on your needs and your capacity. And they're really open as much as, they're happening all the time. And one of the key things is like it convenes the meeting of the minds and network, creating an opportunity for people to actually solve problems together collaboratively.
Yeah.
But what we have seen is that culture determines throughput. And without the right cultural foundation, structural attempts will always fall short.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that I've seen actually as an ecosystem really miss out is the essence of really encouraging velocity of anything, which we normally call consistency. Because if you're not shipping as an engineer, how much is the world
are you
missing
learning
from
even?
your-
Let's start with how much are you learning?
How much are you learning? How much you're missing? And how much that the world is missing from you?
Yes.
As a marketer, if you're not exploring different frameworks that really work and testing them and be ready to fail, how much disservice are you doing to yourself, to the company that you serve? If we do not encourage consultant economy or what we call gig economy, how much economy are we not creating? Because you see, the economy, the way it works is that people, if they have extra money to spend, definitely, if you have a new business, they will spend it on you, right?
Absolutely.
So there are a couple of things there. In many markets today, universities may not play this function yet, but developer communities, hubs, and startups can. Right?
Yes.
So the essential question becomes, where in this ecosystem do builders become meaningfully better in a short amount of time? Because time is of essence.
Yes.
If you're learning code and you're learning it for 2 years, definitely maybe there's a new language.
Yes.
It becomes, redundant.
Yes.
But if we have ecosystems where we are learning fundamentals, foundation of these languages, then it becomes timeless. It doesn't matter what comes up. But how do we become meaningfully better in a short amount of time?
Number one, the government cannot close on Friday and open on Monday.
So government is not escaping from this.
And then come and tell us, oh my God, we have no money. If you go to the market, that guy is awake at 4.
Yes.
Why? He has no money. So this government is telling us, and this is not just the Kenya government, every government is telling us in Africa, I don't care about the other worlds because they are ahead. Let's care about Africa for a minute. Africa, we have such big problems. You can't be closing at 5 on a Friday and then coming on Monday. You can't be closing, opening at 8, closing at 5. You're not serious. Yeah, you're not serious. One of my internships was in a cement company. Let me just say cement so that no marketing.
By the way,
the cement is
just pause right there. In fact, we are open for in 2026. We are open for partners who really would like this conversation to go out there.
Yeah.
So feel free to reach us out through info@impactmasters.com or marketing@africastocking.com.
Yes.
We're gonna guide you on how we can partner, the kind of segment that we cover.
Yes.
We are just niche conversationalists. And you'll see a couple of verticals in this.
Yes.
So definitely we are open so that you don't.
And this year we met our target.
Yeah, of course.
Of the partner funding.
That's why we are having this conversation.
Yes. So just know we are not struggling. Some people when they hear come and partner, they think we are dying to
almost closing the
get
business.
your money. No. Value first.
Yes.
The governments of Africa, they close for holiday. And there are people who are hungry.
Yes. There are people who are not going for holiday.
People who are not going for holiday.
Yeah.
Even some of them are rich. Elon Musk is not sleeping.
Yes.
And he's the first trillionaire. But as we are so confident, we can close our T. We are doing work balance. Work-life balance it doesn't exist. No.
It's a fallacy.
It's not really a fallacy, but if you believe in something so much, you will be one not sleeping.
But does the government believe it?
The government is a framework. We must mentor that framework. We must tell that framework, this is how you achieve results. Number one, so I was telling you I went to a cement factory for my internship.
Yes.
That cement factory, first of all, cement is not stored. Cement is not stored. It's never enough. At least in Kenya, in East Africa, in Africa. Cement is only pumped into the vertical silos for mixing.
And going
That's
out
not a storage.
in
When you pass by a cement factory, you see those
big
tall
tanks,
things. Those are not storage.
Yeah.
Because when cement is being ground, it comes in different, you have to mix different raw materials. You could be mixing, say, pozzolana ash from two different sites, which means its particulars are different. Which means the quality is inconsistent. So to narrow the consistency variation, you pump all these cement variations into that silo and mix because it's dust. So by the time it's settling to the bottom, you have a consistent batch. So there's no storage. So, but that was not the story. The story is those guys don't sleep. You only close your plant for 2 weeks because you must do maintenance. Otherwise, and 1 week is for maintenance, 1 week is for starting the plant. Because the plant is so huge, it needs 1 week to be stable.
Yes.
It needs 1 week to generate the consistent results or a consistent product.
Yes.
So what you learn there is that a shift begins at 7. You have 8 hours. You leave at 3.
Yes.
Someone else comes from 3. They have 8 hours. They leave at 11. Another one comes at 11. They have 8 hours. They leave at 7.
Yes.
That never closes. So when you look at the government, what do you see? Number one, if our economies are, or if only the government works 24 hours, what does the government need? It's the largest employer.
Yes.
It needs transport. They need food.
Yes.
They need security.
And health.
So when there is security in the government installations, there's security in the city. When the people need to go to work every 8 hours, there's transport that can't stop, and the transport is sustainable because there's always a batch of people walking to work, going to work.
Yes.
And then number 3, government delivery is faster.
Yes.
It's always working.
Yes.
See? So that's
and
just
maybe reliable energy.
And reliable. That's the first one.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
So someone will come and say this doesn't work in the rest of the world, but we're not the rest of the world. We are Africa.
We need to be there.
We are Africa.
We need to catch up.
We even need to surpass them.
Yes.
We are Africa. So as Africa, we need to say what works for us. We have the best weather. You won't tell me that I'll be freezing when I'm going to work at 11 p.m.
No.
It's always summer in Africa. So the first driver of change has to be a 24-hour government. Okay?
Yeah.
Which is automated. In other words, I clock in, I clock out, I have a workflow. When I leave...
And there's enough workforce.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when I leave, the next person coming, they don't need to. They have a system that shows them these are the tickets I'm working on, and they can continue from there. That's already working for other businesses. So number one has to be that. Number two, from that thinking, you can now look at the direct impacts from. I saw the other day that the government of Kenya is now have its own enterprise arm. What does that say? It says, if you look at the positive side, it says that they are going to be really, really efficient at delivering value.
Yes.
But what does it say on the negative side? The negative side says the current Kenyan businesses that have survived on tenders from the government will be competing for the same tender
with the enterprise.
As the government enterprise. I highly doubt they will win. So they need to now start adopting new ways of doing business.
Yes.
Evaluating your value chain and seeing who are your partners that you can co-create new businesses with. So that you survive the incoming storm. It's going to be a storm. So anyway, I don't know if I've covered all that question.
No, I mean,
my idea was our culture needs to change to a 24-hour economy. Starting with the government. Then we need to build on the ecosystems that we as companies have. So that
and the realities right now.
You enhance the value you can create as a business.
So let's talk about the segment about feedback loops and investment, which is covered really well in the big scope. The compounding engine. Right? And this is a theme that is covered well in the big scope. So success wasn't an end point. It was a contribution. Founders reinvested capital, time, networks, and knowledge. Early employees mentored new entrepreneurs, and experience circulated. In fact, even today, if you look at Paul Graham, right? If you look at Sam Altman, if you look at Mark, if you look at Elon Musk, it's not just someone who just reappeared in one night on one day and he was successful. If you look at the PayPal mafia, there's a story, there's a network build, there's a failure, there's an exit, there's a reinvestment, there's a recommendation, there's a referral. All these things are happening. But in Africa, and I can be corrected, I've seen a culture where, or a loop where people are always gatekeeping. They are always, creating some sort of cabal, to say the least. I hear there are like CTO WhatsApp groups where if you're fired in one company, you can't be rehired in that ecosystem. And imagine how much talent we're losing because of such. And I'm not saying that it's a classic example, but I just want to imagine where we have an ecosystem where failure is encouraged. Different opinion is encouraged. Building is encouraged, and talent is built to withstand everything. So ecosystem scale through recursive contribution. The loop looks like this: build, learn, exit, and evolve. Reinvest, repeat at a higher level.
Interesting.
So if you build something and exited at $50 million, maybe the next one should be $1 billion. Right? Without this investment cycle, ecosystem plateau. And we have seen so many other, I don't want to say Rwanda, where it looks like a lot is happening and then all of a sudden there's not so much. There's not so much.
Also a problem of limited markets.
Exactly. And scale, as you're speaking about it. So there's a lot that really, I think, that could be learned there. I don't want to preempt everything. And by the way, our intention of this, and this is our first book that we want to put out there, is not to preempt what is there. We want to encourage you that you can actually read some of these things
and form your opinion.
Inform your opinion. We're not paid. We're not partnering with Michael Malone. It's something that I found interesting. Given this podcast is telling the story and also changing the status quo. So I don't know if you have something to,
So what's funny about especially when you look at things like the African hubs. There was a research that was done by the World Bank of what makes a successful hub. And a lot of things can be said about the World Bank, but funny enough, those guys have even, I think, worked on a tech city in Barcelona. Where
you told me about it.
Barcelona Activa, where they work together to create, cities are maybe changing.
Yeah.
Long ago, you'd have a zone where it's an industrialized zone. I think
because of the industrial age, yeah.
A lot of stuff was shipped to China. There's no local manufacturing. In Kenya, people don't know, may not know, but there's a Kenya industrial estates.
Industrial parks.
Yes, in every area.
And every university has one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the main challenge of Kenya industrial parks or any other parks is not the local market. Is that you are a part of a global economy, you sign agreements with other economies, and you must allow their goods in for competition. Therefore, because of that, your cost of production, and of course you may not have the cheapest electricity, the cost of production will be high. Nobody will buy anything that's locally produced, no matter how much they love the country, because there are also limits to spending power. So, these guys, they wrote a paper about ecosystems, African ecosystem.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the most important things that need for an ecosystem to thrive, include a collision space,
yes,
regular interactions,
yes,
and a growth or access to education, or let's say linkage between industry and university.
Yes, yes.
And it's a very important research because it now guides why would an ecosystem or a community work. So, back to your point where you're talking about, in Silicon Valley, you would hardly miss an event every evening.
Yes.
That's not accidental. And people no longer look at it as a cost center. Okay?
Yeah.
And also the participatory rate of the entire, let me call it, in the different departments of a company must be high. So when you're looking at these collision spaces, a lot of the time people think that is a tech event. But if you are, for example, the business person or the HR person or the finance person in a tech company, you are in tech.
Yes.
You can't be saying, I won't attend tech events. Number two, when you attend those tech events, you are not attending it because you are going there to write code. Code is a fraction of what creates value. In fact, a company can be seen as a tech layer and a product layer.
Yes.
The product layer matters because once you finish writing the tech, the product must be sold.
Yes.
So today we can't sell by telling someone, here is my product, buy it.
Yeah.
We now have to go through relationships, knowledge, leadership, so that you convince the target customer you are worth their money.
Yes.
So these events are supposed to be looked at as an investment in the marketing pipeline, in the sales pipeline, but also in refreshing the brand.
Yeah.
You are refreshing the pipeline. Some people you'll find there, you'll hire. Some people will find others and they will leave. That process needs to be simulated more. So you can't say Africa Talking is the only guys who will do the ecosystem tour or Safaricom is the only ones who will do it. Everybody needs to see themselves as creating a collision space in their office, in their city, so that talent can move, value can be created, collaboration can happen, capital can move. Human beings must meet before they exchange value. That's a very important reason why those things are successful. So that's one culture we need to have. Yeah, so but beyond that, I think the R&D, every company needs to have an R&D budget.
Absolutely. Even the government itself.
Even the government. The R&D budget for tech companies should be in acquiring other tech companies. That's how this money will circulate.
Yeah.
Now, if you are running a company with no R&D budget, you're already starting from negative.
Negative, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you have money, instead of now you spending 3 years to build a solution, why not acquire, JV, collaborate with another company that has been doing this for 10 years, 5 years, 3 years?
Yeah.
And also that's the way we will scale across Africa.
Yes.
Instead of saying you will walk into Ethiopia and set up a company, why don't you say you will go into Ethiopia with $500,000, acquire shares of a company there that is aligned to you, and do business. That answers the story of speed.
Yeah.
It answers the story of speed.
Yeah. And velocity. So there are a couple of lessons that have been learned, and they can be applied in emerging markets. So principles without limitation, as it is. So practical question is which lessons are transferable, right? Like one of them is several principles are universal.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Mobility of talent. Everyone wants to work in Silicon Valley.
Yes.
Right? Because of how, your talent is either valued.
Yes.
The packages that come with that.
And even the learning.
Even the learning.
Yes. I saw some engineers quitting to go and work for the boring company.
Yes.
Or X.
Yes.
Or Amazon Leo. Yeah. Because of just the edge.
Or Palantir.
Yeah, or Palantir. Because of just the edge of knowledge they will acquire.
Yeah. Strong capability building institutions that cannot be ignored, and I think the private sectors and the government has a huge role to play, given they control over 70% of GDP.
Yes.
Founder-led reinvestment or acquisition, and not acquisition to kill or destroy. It's acquisition to expand and save time. Dense technical problems and even velocity itself.
Yes.
But this implementation must reflect local context. And that's why communities and developer experience, developer relations, or any other relations, even customer success, are becoming very important core of any serious company. So ecosystems should not replicate Silicon Valley, because Silicon Valley is Silicon Valley because of so many things.
Yes, so true.
And it has been there for quite a while. They should build coherent systems grounded in local strengths and regional realities. And I think you have put it really well, giving local context of African markets.
Yes.
So pattern recognition matters more than imitation. And I don't know if what your parting shot is, but ideally this is a very interesting book. It's known as The Big Score.
Yes.
By Michael.
Yeah, my parting shot. The man behind the curtain.
Yes.
The Department of Defense. So the government was the first VC. And the myth of the garage may not be, we have to, as Africa, we have to realize it was a myth. Yes, in fact, there's a company I've forgotten the name. They are building vertical takeoff and landing planes for the Department of Defense. And they've been failing for 4 years. I've forgotten the name. It starts with A. So military contracts provided the patient capital that allowed companies to survive early failures.
Yes.
Some companies in Africa will fail early. Doesn't mean they don't have an idea that will work.
Yeah.
It just means they need patient capital, because nobody starts walking on the first day.
Yes.
Nobody starts chewing hard food on the first day. Even the Wright brothers didn't fly on the first day.
Yeah.
And the plane that they flew, was it in Oregon? Kitty Hawk. Is not what we take today as flights.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
There had to be some patience. And most probably, we should actually research who was their first
investor.
It must have been the government.
Yes.
Yes. The Air Force was born. You see?
Yes.
So the idea that African companies can begin with the freemium model, and then hopefully they'll get customers, should really debunk that myth.
Yes.
And we should really, and governments in Africa that wants to create a vibrant technology ecosystem that pays back should start to seriously consider buying and developing and nurturing local software. Yes.
In fact, I just checked who was the first investor of the Wright brothers, and here the researchers they didn't have one, but they just self-financed from the bicycle manufacturing and repair business.
Interesting.
The Wright Cycle Company. They built and sold their own bicycle models, which provided a steady income that covered all expenses related to their aviation research, including materials for their gliders, the custom-built engine, and travel to their testing site at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina.
Then maybe we need to ask, who was their first big customer?
It was only later, after achieving successful and sustained flights and demonstrating their airplane in Europe, that they
it wasn't even welcome in the US.
There's a lot of lessons there.
Indeed.
Wright Company in 1909 with a group of New York industrialists as investors.
Yes.
So this tells you other founders actually might even believe in you before all this.
And also we need to call out those blue chip companies in Africa that are building real estate.
Chief.
Can you imagine?
Say that again.
There are some big blue chip companies, and blue chip companies in Africa is very obvious. It's the banks and the telcos.
Yes.
Are busy buying and building real estate.
Yes. Now, and you're right, and it's good that you
need to call them out.
So
not
the first customer of the Wright brothers was the United States Army.
Of course.
Which purchased the 1909 Wright military flyer for $30,000. This purchase was the result of a competitive bid process that the Army initiated in 1908 to find a two-seat observation aircraft.
You have it.
All right. So all in all, so there are a couple of things that you could actually note here. One of them is the ability of other innovators to invest in you.
Yes.
Also exploring beyond your state or your country.
Very important.
Another place.
Size of market.
Yes. And other
or even
also,
need.
And also targeting.
Maybe Europe felt this is more, we need this more.
Absolutely.
Than the Americans thought.
Absolutely. And without further ado, check out Africa Stocking at africastocking.com.
Yes.
One of our supporters of this podcast and collaborator of Retold Podcasts.
Yes.
And Impact Masters at impactmasters.io. And check out all these podcasts in every single channel, including YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio. There's also Spotify and many others, including Apple Podcasts,
Google
which is the biggest.
Podcasts.
Google Podcasts. Google Podcasts now is YouTube. It's on YouTube.
There's also Amazon, Amazon.
Yeah. So we are available in all podcast channels. Of course, this is not going to be published right away, but you can actually rewatch it on YouTube as live, and then the edited version will be released globally as soon as it's ready. So if you like it, just let us know. We love your feedback, and we want to keep this at it. This is the first one on matters discussing different books, different topics that you can learn from and share with you. And this was from The Big Score by Michael Malone. Without further ado, my name is Michael Kimathi, and my co-host
Graham Ingo
from Africa Stocking and Impact Masters, respectively. Until next time, have yourself a good evening, good night, and good morning, wherever you are. See you later.